Joining us now from the Capitol, where he just left the House chamber following the president's address, is Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. Senator, good evening to you. Thank you for taking time for us.
My pleasure.
Give me your assessment of what the president said tonight, what he teed up, and what can be done in the next year.
Well, I think the president talked about the need to utilize the changing world we are living in a positive way that improves lives for all Americans. For example, he recognized the reality of climate change and made the point that it is imperative that we deal with climate change, and in the process, we can create many good-paying, decent jobs. And he made the point that it is terribly significant that we deal with campaign finance reform, that we get big money and super PACs out of politics, and that we revitalize democracy and get ordinary people involved in the political process in a way that does not exist right now. At a time
Let me go to something
that
that Senator Cruz noted a moment ago, that the president didn't mention this situation right now with the American sailors being held in Iran. Are you surprised that he didn't make reference to that tonight?
Well, I hope, my understanding, I could be wrong on this, that this problem is going to be resolved in a few hours. And I think what the president is talking about are issues that will impact this country for decades to come. Issues of income and wealth inequality, about how we revitalize American democracy, how we make sure that all of our kids can get a good higher education at a cost they can afford. Those are issues we're going to have to be dealing with for decades.
Let me ask you about your race, specifically with Hillary Clinton. The tone has noticeably changed as the polls have drawn closer. I think you're both within the margins of error, both in Iowa and New Hampshire. How would you characterize this changing tone right now in the Democratic race?
Well, I think what's happened is, we started this campaign at 2% in the polls, and now some polls actually have us ahead. And I think we have a really good chance to win in Iowa and to win in New Hampshire. And obviously, as we have gained momentum, I think it's fair to say that the Clinton campaign has become very nervous. Secretary Clinton and I have very different points of view on a number of issues. I think we should be expanding Social Security. I think we should pass legislation as soon as possible for paid family and medical leave. I think our views on foreign policy and making certain that American troops don't get bogged down in a never-ending quagmire in the Middle East. On Wall Street, I believe we've got to break up those huge financial institutions that have done so much harm to the American people. So
what is your strategy when you move out of the northern states and Nevada? When you get into the South, will your message resonate the way it has in these early voting states?
Oh, yes. The message that the average person is working longer hours for lower wages, and almost all new income and wealth is going to the top 1%, that we have a corrupt campaign finance system in which billionaires are now able to buy elections. That message is resonating in Iowa, it's resonating in New Hampshire. It is going to resonate in every state in this country.
As you were watching the speech tonight, the president coming in, did you stop and think, could I imagine myself being that person walking in, making that speech, being the president of the United States?
Well, actually, to be honest with you, that thought did go through my head. Yes, it did.
And you could imagine it.
Yes.
Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont. Senator, good to talk to you, and I'm sure we'll be talking along the way. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and then click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.